Hi guys, welcome to Engelgeist. This is Dan. Welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very, very much for your support. Your subscriptions mean the world to me. They help to keep the channel going. If you're interested and you watch on the regular basis and you're interested in supporting the channel through a monthly subscription, please feel free to go over to patreon.com. Choose or look up Engelgeist and you can choose a subscription level over there. There are special readings that are available only over there that are available to you depending on the subscription level that you choose. Okay, so now let's get into my daily spiel. This is the daily forecast for all signs for anybody who watches this for February 1st, which would be a Monday. Goodbye January, hello February, we're into a new deck and everything. This is a broad spectrum reading, so I will use broader terms so that it reaches more people and potentially fits within their situations without getting too specific. If there is anything in here that doesn't make sense or it doesn't seem like it fits with your life, that's okay. Nothing's wrong or broken. You just might be working on something different at this time than what the majority of the viewers who watch this video will be working on. This video is timeless in the sense that yes, it's originally created for Monday, February 1st of 2021, but the message is for the highest good of the greater collective. Therefore, if you're seeing it on a date that's different, maybe you're seeing it on February 1st, 2022, that's fine. It may still have bearing or meaning for your life. So please feel free to watch it and see if it helps you out in any way, shape, or form. Always hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, leave any questions or comments. Those things greatly help me in the channel, and I love the interaction. It's all forms of support. When watching any of my videos, if you choose to make any decisions in your personal life after having watched any of my videos, know that those decisions are your own responsibility. Using your own highest intelligence and intuition when making those decisions is strongly advised and encouraged. Never take anything that I say over that of a professional in your field, like a doctor, a lawyer, or a therapist. Always listen to them first and foremost over anything I may say. Okay, so let's see what's going on in these cards. We've got a new deck that we're working with. I did a poll in the Engelgeist group on the Facebook group to see if you guys still like the clarifiers, and you do. And I'm such a weirdo that I like my clarifiers to match my deck that I'm working with. So when I put up the poll deck for the tarot deck for this month, I put up 3 decks over on the Patreon page because members over there get to vote on which deck we use. I only had one deck that had a mini deck with it. I ordered a second mini deck with one of the other deck options that was on there, if that makes sense. And I was waiting for that. It won't arrive until tomorrow the 1st. So there was a split tie. Only 2 people voted over on Patreon. 1 vote for this deck and 1 vote for the other deck. So I went with this deck because I have to tape this a day early. And I thought this would be a good deck to use for February. And by that point, it will give the other small clarifying deck to show up with the other deck. Does that make sense? Anyways, we've got a new deck today, guys. Long-winded way. So let's see what this deck wants us to know. Should be interesting messages for February, let's say. All right, so our card for February 1st is ba-bam. Okay, we'll take it. 8 of Pentacles. I believe this is, yes, 8 of Discs. This is prudence. Okay, 8s always bring about this sense of sort of balance to me. 4s to me, I call stability. 8s I consider them to be balanced. Some people think 6s are also about balance too, but just because it's an even number. But I really love 8s as being like balance because when you turn them on their side, they become that infinity symbol. So I kind of see that very much as a like sort of reciprocated balance, equitable sort of interchange between whatever elements are going on. When I look at this, the 8 of Pentacles to me is about kind of working really specifically in the traditional tarot design. It's about putting in the work, understanding what we've got, trying to own it, embrace it, appreciate it, have gratitude for it. When I look at this particular image, obviously it makes me think of growth. It makes me think of beauty in a way. It makes me think of like sort of owning who we are and how we are, and allowing for that, almost, I don't want to say harvesting it, but feeding it in a way, being prudent about where we interact right now, how we interact. We are in a Mercury retrograde currently, for those of you that are watching this on the date that it was created for. So this prudence word to me also speaks to that idea of stand in your own sort of truth, stay in your own lane, so to speak. Understand your own beauty and your own ability to grow even through trying times and difficult situations. Remember, we had yesterday for the Sunday reading, underpinning this is that death card coupled with a couple of other really interesting sort of cards around, the Four of Pentacles, which would also tie into this earth energy of Eight of Pentacles. And, that Four of Pentacles is about holding on a little bit tightly. Prudence could also be sort of conceived or sort of along those same lines, but I feel like it's not holding on. Does that make sense? Like if we're not gripping something with a death grip, we're allowing ourselves to grow, but we're being moderate about it. We're being careful about it. We're not like banging anybody over the head about it, right? I like that this plant here, or this tree to me, appears very strong. It feels very rooted, right? That would also be Pentacles energy. So if we are going through any sort of experience of shift or change, because that would be that underpinning death energy, and we're tempted to want to hold on tightly, don't. Grow through this is what this card is telling me. Be prudent about what your situation is. Be open to the opportunities to grow beyond it, to sort of what's the word, like honor who you are, what you are, the experiences you've been through, and allow yourself to continue to move forward. Don't fight against it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You can ground your way through this and find balance in that. Now let's look to the clarifiers and see what they have to say. What do our clarifiers want us to know? By the way, this is the Thoth deck by ALEISTER CROWLEY. So we have the Two of Swords. This is interesting to me because this says peace, right? As the word down at the bottom, if you see that. I love this Two of Swords. I think the image of this is really gorgeous. I love that they're piercing that sort of flower, if it's a lotus. But oftentimes the Two of Swords to me indicates like sort of boundaries, a no. There's sort of a blockade happening there, right? With those swords going across that flower. To me, this feels about like not letting in sort of the drama, not sort of allowing our mind to go to pot or our thoughts to go towards the negative. That's sort of the feeling that I get here. Sometimes the Two of Swords can indicate indecision, but with the word peace at the bottom there, this is about maintaining our own peace. And I like it with this Eight of Pentacles, because that word prudence is also about being discerning, being careful about what we let in, how we let it in, how much we let it in, because we don't want it to necessarily affect us or throw us off course, stunt our growth, anything like that, right? So when I look at this to me feels like a well-drawn boundary. It feels safe, it feels secure, it feels mentally sort of strong. Yes, we might have to like sort of, I don't want to say avoid people, but we might have to like sort of not allow others' opinions in right now at this time, but that's okay. That's where I feel like that's also another form of sort of being prudent and allowing ourselves to grow on our path, to do whatever it is we want, to explore who we are, and to understand and better exemplify that without sort of others kind of challenging that or throwing a monkey wrench into the plan, right? So let's look at the next card. We have the Prince of Discs. So this would be like the Knight of Swords. So this here is a bit of a slow moving energy. I kind of love that he has this bull underneath him, right? To me, he's ready to sort of move forward, but he doesn't necessarily feel, oh no, the Knight of Pentacles. Let me just look at this. To me, I feel like this is sort of like a message of slow and steady wins the race, right? Maintaining our peace above all else. We could be interacting with somebody of the earth sign variety. It could be somebody that's a little bit stubborn, even with that bull down at the bottom. Earth would be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Generally, the Knight of Pentacles is very methodical, very much about like, taking time to cross their I's and cross their T's and dot their I's kind of thing. They don't necessarily move at a very quick pace. When I look at this prudence of the Eight of Pentacles, to me, it doesn't feel like the pace needs to be fast. The pace right now needs to maintain that sense of what we see in the Two of Swords, which is that peace, right? That idea of let's not rush things. We have this strength in the Eight of Pentacles and in the Knight of Discs, or the Knight of Pentacles. We have the strength and the steadiness, the groundedness to see ourselves through whatever challenges we may be facing. Again, we have that Death card underneath all of this. So something is potentially transforming for you guys. Each and every one of you, it's going to be something different. I need to turn off the heater, sorry. For each and every one of you, it's going to be something different that you're watching transform in front of you. It could be outside of your control, or it could be a conscious decision you're making. But in essence, my feeling is these cards are saying don't rush it, don't fight it, don't do anything other than sort of stay as centered and as kind of controlled as you can during this time. It's going to sort of like aid you through whatever changes are taking place. So let's see what the last card is, and that is, I didn't bring, okay, I'll take it. It's the Six of Pentacles, and this is success. So whatever is going on, I love the light that's coming from this card. Do you see that? And there's sort of like all of these just symbols and stuff. I don't really know this deck perfectly or super well, but I love that it also sort of mirrors the peace that we see in that Two of Swords, even though this is a Pentacles card. With three Pentacles cards in this run, this is about, to me, staying grounded today, staying centered today, trusting one's own truth over that of others, maintaining our peace. That will lead us to this state of having maybe a successful day, feeling like we got enough accomplished, feeling like we didn't get sucked into any sort of struggles or anything that we didn't really want to engage in. Those are all good things that I feel like. We don't want to avoid situations. I don't get a sense of avoidance. The only place where I would see a little bit of avoidance might be in that Two of Swords, because those swords are crossing in such a strong way. But I also feel like with that Knight of Pentacles in there, we could be moving towards something new, allowing ourselves to move, even if it's at a slow pace, because there might be other things going on around us that hold us or don't allow us to move as quickly as we want to. That's okay. Maintaining this idea that we will reach a state of success, or that we will feel that this day will end on a high note, should be a good feeling, right? But again, we want to maintain this sense of peace, prudence, all of these things that we see in these cards that helps us to stay that way. Let's look to the grounding stone and see what that has to say. Okay, I love it. So the grounding stone is on malachite, which is a stone of the heart, or the fourth chakra. It's a green stone, so that would associate not only with the heart chakra, but also with healing. The word is inspiration. I think that what it's asking us to do is also find our own inspiration within ourselves, for ourselves today. Remember, yesterday's stone on that tiger's eye was generosity, and I felt like the definite weekly sort of focus was, where are we being generous to ourselves? Where are we giving to ourselves? Today, when I look at these cards, these feel about sort of maintaining our own peace, maintaining our own growth, maintaining our own perspective, staying grounded on that, and keeping like focused on the success of that, right? In doing that, like, where do we find that inspiration for ourselves, right? And give it to ourselves, from our heart to ourselves. Does that make sense? It also, the green in the malachite takes me to this Two of Swords card, which is also very green in color. And although the Two of Swords would indicate like sort of indecision, to me, like I said earlier, this is about drawing boundaries, having healthy boundaries, and not engaging in stuff that isn't worth our time today. Right? If we find people that are giving us challenges, we move away from them as you know, ideally as quickly as possible. We may not be able to with that Knight of Pentacles. He might be moving a little bit slow, but we will be successful as long as we take, you know, do it from a place of kindness towards ourselves, i.e. that generosity that we saw in yesterday's stone, and the inspiration that's in this stone today. And move towards, you know, the things that do inspire us versus the things that like dampen us down or don't lift us up. Does that make sense? And so as we do that, we will be able to give ourselves more and more and more through yesterday's generosity stone. I really think that's the key today. Each one of you is going to be working on something different or towards something different or working yourself away from something different, but all of you should be maintaining this idea of peace, prudence, and strength. Stay grounded today. It will be a beautiful day. That is your forecast for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it and hit subscribe if you feel so inclined. I will be back tomorrow to see how these cards continue to build. And again, thank you so much for your viewership. Bye-bye.